Who was that man we just met earlier? I see. It's nothing. I just hope that you'll always stay within my sight in the future. I can't foresee what may happen to you outside of my sight. Let's go back before it gets dark. I forgot to ask where the central square is. Let's start by updating her on her father's condition.
Ah, it's you! Did you go to the hospital? Have you seen my father? Really? It's good to know he's safe. No, I did go back home. But then I heard a loud noise outside, so I couldn't help but come out again to see what was happening. It sounded like the howling of a wild beast. Not like those oxen that wandered into the city, but more like a bear, or a tiger, or some other wild animal. I'm heading home now.
Please wait a moment. Where is the central square?
Huh? Weren't you sent by the government? How come you don't know that? All right. You're talking about the square in front of Nongsang Pavilion, right? It's actually called the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture Square. Nongsang Pavilion is actually the office building of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. When the city was constructed, all the urban areas were centered around the pavilion, and the square is part of the office complex. But then more and more tourists started coming there, probably because it's a popular spot for taking photos. Somehow the square became recognized as the center of Songlin City, hence the name Central Square. Oh, you're wondering why the urban areas were centered around the bureau? Well, you can actually figure that out from the name Songlin, which means well-stocked larders. What good is a larder without food? So, naturally, the top priority here is the development of agriculture, forestry, livestock, and fisheries. After all, hunger is the root of all problems. By the way, while the square is open to the public, Nongsang Pavilion is off-limits to outsiders, so it's best not to approach it without authorization. That place houses the main server network of the centralized agricultural system of the city. The server network controls all the sprinkling, sowing, harvesting, and crop care systems within the city and fertile plains. The security measures are as strict as those in a military area. Stay away from that place and you won't get in trouble.
Fluttering wings. Weird. The stumps were intact when we passed by earlier. The fog is getting thicker. Stay close. Don't get separated. Watch out! Stay behind me! Complete fluttering wing. Fluttering wing. Ansu. End it all! Let's find a place to hide for a while. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture shouldn't be far ahead. Huh? Is that statue...
Are you travelers from a distant land? As I thought. The young lady over there is recognizable by her clothes. Indeed. You must have seen me through the holographic projection, I believe. Normally, the Bureau of Culture and Tourism would be welcoming visitors. With the upcoming Harvest Festival next month, it would have been an ideal time for a warm welcome. However, due to the current situation, all publicity efforts have been suspended. I apologize for the unfortunate news I bring and any inconvenience caused. I assume you haven't had the chance to explore the city yet. While I may not be as knowledgeable as my colleagues in the Bureau of Culture and Tourism, I'm willing to provide you with any information that might interest you. Oh? Please, go ahead. Ah, that's Xixia, the first emperor of Xian? According to historical records, he unified the entire region of Xian. However, after the unification, he left the capital and embarked on a journey across the world. Legend has it that during his travels, he personally tested various herbs and educated his people about edible plants, medicinal herbs, and poisonous flora. He also introduced agricultural tools and techniques for cultivating fields and crops. As a result, the people of Xian revered him as the ancestor of agriculture. Moreover, the rituals honoring Xixia are a vital part of the festival. But that all happened thousands of years ago. Who can say for sure if the historical records are accurate or not? Perhaps he was simply an irresponsible conqueror who grew tired of ruling and decided to disappear for a while. Maybe the notion of him traveling the world was just an excuse to escape. As for all those achievements attributed to him, it's likely the result of later generations crediting him for the accomplishments of others. If Xixia were to know that he has become such a revered figure after thousands of years, he might burst into laughter. God? No, that's far from the truth. The beliefs in Xian differ significantly from those in Japheth, Cyril, Obed, or any other civilization in the world. While other civilizations engage in rituals for the afterlife, we focus on our present life. While other civilizations worship ethereal gods, we venerate our ancestors. If there's anything truly noteworthy about Xixia, it is that he established what later became known as the nation. The distinction between the ancestor of agriculture and the god of agriculture is profound. The difference between a god providing a bountiful harvest and a mortal cultivating the land is substantial. Humans have their fate in their own hands. So if one has to pay homage to someone, why don't they revere themselves? And if one seeks guidance from someone, why don't they look within themselves? In other civilizations, concepts like the end of the world, the last judgment, or something similar exist, with gods positioned at the culmination of everything. However, Xixia is not a god. He represents the origin of countless generations, a starting point, and nothing more. We don't believe in gods or saints. We believe in ourselves and our ability to shape our own destiny. But to be honest, I wish Xixia could wield some divine power and resolve the problem immediately. Just kidding. It's up to us to tackle the challenges ourselves. By the way, do you know that the Harvest Festival will be held earlier? Oh, when I left the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture, I had a feeling like I was forgetting something. Now I remember, I haven't shared the news yet. I made the decision fairly recently. Considering the current unrest in Songlin City, the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture decided to advance this year's Harvest Festival. This time, the festival won't be a celebration of a bountiful harvest, but rather an opportunity to pray for one and uplift everyone's spirits. We hope this festival will make foreign visitors feel welcome and at home. That would be fantastic. I've been to Obed before. Well, that was quite some time ago. People there were so kind to me, and I've always wanted to repay their hospitality. And now, meeting you here feels like that line from the poet. A familiar visage in unfamiliar space, a long-awaited rain amidst drought's embrace. Well, not entirely accurate, since Xian isn't exactly unfamiliar to me. Anyway, I genuinely hope that Xian will leave you with unforgettable memories, just as Obed left a lasting impression on me. A familiar visage in unfamiliar space. But in the midst of this prolonged drought, will the long-awaited rain ever arrive?
I rarely engage in joint operations with others. Maybe we should return to the square and wait for the vapor to clear.
Everything is okay here. It's just lately we've started hearing strange noises in the middle of the night.
What kind of noises?
Oxen mooing, birds chirping. I think I even heard a bear roaring last night.
It sounded like the howling of a wild beast. Not like those oxen that wandered into the city, but more like a bear, or a tiger, or some other wild animal.
Finally found you! I can't believe you ended up here and got yourself into such trouble! Finally, things are starting to get interesting. Let the fight begin! A fair duel between two hunters.
Fluttering wings. Fluttering Complete wings. Insight. Onto. End it all. Complete insight.
Let it to fry! Let it to fry!
Walk with the umbrella. Walk with the umbrella. Hey! What's happening on your side?
Show yourself.
Huh? What the heck? Report is over. That's what happened.
Things are getting more complicated. Considering everything, it's highly probable that the incidents in Songlin City and Fertile Plains were orchestrated by someone behind the scenes. And most likely, the culprit now sees you as an unexpected threat that must be eliminated. Indeed. It's puzzling why the culprit is targeting the head librarian of Emion rather than Weisha, who holds greater influence and power. However, we can only hope to find answers directly from the culprit themselves. And the various troubles that keep arising are becoming increasingly burdensome. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture has unexpectedly proposed advancing the Harvest Festival to appease the populace. While I understand their reasoning, it's not wise to hold the festival at a time like this, particularly with the escalating influence of the anomaly. However, given the growing unrest among the people, advancing the festival may alleviate the situation. Therefore, we have submitted the proposal to hold the Harvest Festival earlier today. You don't seem surprised at all. I see. So you've run into Director Feng himself. The proposal was passed mostly because it was proposed by Director Feng himself. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture is actually the most crucial division of the government. Feng Lin is indeed exceptional to have become the director at such a young age. Among all my colleagues, he's one of the most pragmatic and capable directors. He never drags his feet, never lets his personal emotions cloud his judgment, and is easygoing in his everyday life, forging good relations with almost all departments. While he's principled in important matters, he has never offended anyone because of insisting on his own views. In fact, those who initially opposed him were eventually convinced by him in the end, or even joined his side. Despite his young age, he is unexpectedly rich in experience, almost as if he has spent decades in the government. Moreover, he is well versed with the actual production. As far as I can remember, he's never made any mistakes due to impractical ideas. Since it is he who made this proposal, I don't think anything will go awry. You seem to have something else to ask, perhaps? Oh, you want to know why Jisha left the capital after unifying Xi'an? To be honest, this is one of the unsolved mysteries in Xi'an's history. There are a lot of historians, folklorists, and archaeologists who have researched this topic, and there are many different opinions. The legend Director Feng told you is the most mainstream theory, that the first emperor wandered around Xi'an after he had unified the world, testing various herbs and imparting the essence of agriculture. However, there is also a less popular version that says the first emperor actually traveled around to seek immortality. According to some unofficial records, the first emperor left the capital because he wanted to continue his rule for eternity. The so-called testing various herbs was just a byproduct of his search for the elixir of immortality. As for imparting the essence of agriculture, it was because by teaching the people to farm, he no longer needed to search for food himself, but would accept the people's offerings wherever he went. In that case, he was actually interested in satisfying his own selfish desires, and his people, hidden from the truth, interpreted his actions as grace and worshipped him. No need to be surprised. It was thousands of years ago, after all, and it's normal for various theories to differ from one another. No one alive has ever seen Jisha with their own eyes, so whether he was an exceptional or tyrannical emperor, we shouldn't be surprised. Or perhaps the actual truth doesn't align with any of those theories that have been passed down so far. Speaking of which, Weisha was established at Jisha's era, and we have preserved a huge amount of historical records from that era. However, we have a peculiar rule that all records about Jisha himself are highly classified, and only Master Yuan Xuan is permitted to access them. The reason behind this rule remains a mystery. But unfortunately, Master Yuan Xuan is not here. Master Yuan Xuan went to Tsingyu City before you arrived in Songlin City. Tsingyu City is situated on Mount Tianchue in the upper reaches of the Grandeur River, where it converges with the immense mountain. Actually, Tsingyu City is the origin of this anomaly, and Songlin City is only affected because it's located downstream along the Grandeur River. Coincidentally, Tsingyu City is also the place where the first emperor established the first capital of Xi'an. It served as the cradle of Xi'an's civilization. Countless bronze artifacts have been unearthed there, most of which are rare treasures of exquisite craftsmanship. Many of those artifacts are so remarkable that it's hard to imagine they were created thousands of years ago. An intriguing thought, but unfortunately, Weishu doesn't believe in gods. Why seek answers from deities when we haven't actually understood the world around us? One day, humans will be able to understand the world on their own. Oh? That's hardly surprising. If I hadn't confirmed multiple times that he's indeed just an ordinary person, I would have recruited him into Weishu.
Bronze. Immortality. Eternal life. Xixia.
What do you mean?
However, ever since the Cerulean Blight spread, funeral parlors haven't received a single corpse. Not a single one. Not only that, our obstetrics and gynecology department hasn't welcomed a single newborn since then. It's as if the cycle of life and death here has been put on pause.
However, there is also a less popular version that says the first emperor actually traveled around to seek immortality. These so-called testing various herbs was just a byproduct of his search for the elixir of immortality.
King, sorry for interrupting.
What is it?
The Delphic Oracle has just sent us their water analysis results. The Delphi Academy's medical department conducted physiological experiments on the water samples and discovered that contaminated cells cease to divide anymore. Moreover, their original carbon-based structure rapidly transformed into an unknown compound. They are now conducting further analysis, but it seems that the new compound is a polymer formed from an unidentified element combined with metal elements. Simply put, the cells contaminated by the water transform from carbon-based life to a form of life with metallic properties. It appears that the transformed cells won't reproduce or evolve on their own. They will remain fixed in their current state, as long as there is no negative external interference, possessing an almost unlimited lifespan. They concluded that the new life form lacks the potential for iterative growth and evolution, but possesses an almost eternal lifespan.
I rarely engage in joint operations with others. Full. Full. Onto. End it all. Walk in the rain. Fluttering wings. Waning crescent. Walk with the umbrella. Fluttering wings. Well done, An. You can come back now. Thanks for your guidance.
Let your blood sanctify the Lord of Weaponry's blade!
Fluttering wings. Well done, An. You can come back now. Thanks for your guidance.
Let your blood sanctify the Lord of Weaponry's blade!
Complete insight. Well done, An. You can come back now. Thanks for your guidance.
Let your blood sanctify the Lord of Weaponry's blade!
Fluttering wings. Fluttering wings. Complete insight. Complete insight. Fluttering wings.
Time to sound the retreat. When the Lord of Weaponry marches to battle, victory is assured. Let your blood sanctify the Lord of Weaponry's blade! Blood-melting cold!
Flooded to fry!
Full.
Flooded to fry!
Time to sound the retreat. When the Lord of Weaponry marches to battle, victory is assured. Let your blood sanctify the Lord of Weaponry's blade!
Flooded to fry!
walk in the rain.
Flooded to fry!
Time to sound the retreat. When the Lord of Weaponry marches to battle, victory is assured.